Hello everybody, welcome beautiful people. Give me just a moment. Today has been topsy-turvy and I'm coming to you later than I had planned, but that's okay. Let me just make sure I am in the correct spot on Facebook and that you can hear me. Let's see. Yep. All right. So, great. Okay. And I can see comments for right now. All right. So welcome, beautiful people. I am The Deb K, and this is How to Live Your Truths video series, part 4, week 4. So this month we've been looking at living your truths, and this is truly awesome, this process, and it's one that if you're committed to will make your life exponentially and dramatically change for the better. Now, you'll end up loving who you are and why you're here living this physical human experience. So this is about what happens after creating truths, reaching your broadest truth and awakening, and everyday living in between each segment of your journey. So as you're creating truths, even if you haven't fully awakened yet, this is part of it as well. So it's just kind of placed here in the journey just to have a spot after you've created nearly all of your truths. However, it's going to be used throughout your journey. Okay, and what's going to happen is as you continuously use this method of living your truths that we've talked about all month, it's just going to help you just get stronger and stronger in all of those truths as you continue on through whatever portion of magnificence you are interested in. All right, so by the end of this live, I'm hoping that you'll better understand that your journey isn't just a series of check boxes and tick boxes. It's more of a way of living. So it's kind of like people who go on those crash diets. They just want to get the weight off. But then once they're done with the diet plan, they go right back to doing whatever they were doing and the weight goes right back on. Now, if you learn a different way of dieting, eating, nutrition, and living, and exercising, and all of those other bits and pieces that roll into that, you have a better success rate of keeping the weight off, right? So that's just one sort of example, and it completely translates over to your own spiritual journey, your own journey of creating your very own magnificence in you, and being the you-iest you ever can be. So just let go, live your truths, and remember, this is all about feeling good. So the main focus today for week 4 is going to be around creating faith in you, clarity, and certainty. So the end of the live, I will mention a few ways you can work with me and some upcoming programs, and you can find links for everything either in the post above or DM me if you're not sure what you're looking for or can't find what you're looking for, and we will have Q&A throughout. Okay, so as you're joining the live or if you're on replay, say hello, hashtag replay, and where you're tuning in from. I always love to see where everybody is in the world. It's exciting for me. And if you are loving the content, please do share this page with your friends. I also have a private group. Now, in all honesty, things are changing up a little bit behind the scenes, so just watch this space for what is to come in the future. It's super exciting, and I want you along the journey with me. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments below, and all of my videos are available to watch on replay at your own convenience if you're unable to attend live. Okay, so for those of you who are not that familiar with me, I am The Deb K, and I am here to help you create your own fountain of youth and be the greatest you can be right now. And get ready, just get ready for your own amazingness. And what I'm going to share today may be different to what you currently understand, but please just allow this to flow with you. feel the truth of the words, let it settle, and ask any questions that you have. I will, as we go through, if there's something that feels like you may need a better definition, I will share that with you. But always, always ask your questions. Okay, so just a little bit to recall. Back in the fall, I created what I called the Magnificence Journey series, and it's in my private group for now, but it is truly a culmination of all of the steps, like how I actually became who I am today over the past few years. They're the exact steps I took to become beautifully whole on the inside, and how I'm continuing towards divine, beautiful magnificence inside and out. And it's been truly magical. It's been a truly transformative journey for me in my life. And since I created that series, I have evolved even more. I'm excited to continue to share with you each step on my own journey, and hope to inspire you to continue or to start yours. So in April, to help flesh out more information around the journey, I created a Meet Your Higher Self series all about your higher self and connecting to your higher self. Then May was all about the believe releasing process. So this is where you're going to let go of fear labeled experiences and feelings and emotions and relabel them to love labeled. This is where we start creating truths. And now we're talking about living your truths, right? Okay, and then in May I created, that was May. In June, we talked about the Broadest Truth series. This is part of that third step of the Magnificence journey, and where you create your broadest truth. So you have all these truths you've been creating during the believe releasing process. You create broader truths, and then those are like truths that help cover a lot of the smaller truths that you created. And then you have your broadest truth, which is like the truth of you and your life here. So this month obviously is How to Live Your Truth series, and it is part of the fourth step in your journey. And it's important to remember that all of these processes are always done with your higher self. Some are also done with God and or your non-physical guides. So just let go of any fear around the spiritual terminology used. Just feel and saturate, as this is the real language of energy, and there'll be more clarity to come for you in right time. Okay, so a little overview of how to live your truths. So like I mentioned, it's a truly awesome process that can change your life for the better, dramatically, drastically, exponentially, and help you live in love always by introducing you to ways that you can continue to love who you are while you're here living a physical human experience, and so on. All right, so week 1 was about you've awakened, now what? And week 2, how you show up matters. Week 3, last week, was let go of what was and live now. And then today, week 4, creating faith in you, clarity, and certainty. And of course, cheers to you. You're here. And I'm so proud of you for taking the step just to turn on the Facebook video and take a look and listen. You're doing something for you, and that is truly amazing. Okay, so at this point in How to Live Your Truths, you'll notice and feel your energy shifting around less. We talked about this the past couple of weeks, how you'd feel the energy shifts and what that meant and how to deal with it. But you're going to feel that energy shifting around a little bit less as you're living in this new energy of your truths. As in, you will be in alignment more and more. And my hope for you is that you'll always be in alignment. So it is important to remember that you are still a physical human having a physical human experience. So nobody's perfect, And that's just part of life and being human, right? We're not non-physical right now. And be easy on yourself if you're out of alignment, but take action towards aligning to your truths when you notice your energy shifting out of alignment. So your understanding of you is going to be deepening as you're living your truths, and recognize that each new experience is now an opportunity for growth. It's not a cog in the system. It's not that, everything's out to get you. It's nothing like that. Something comes up that may feel a little icky at first. It may feel like this is opposite of what I'm doing. This is opposite of what I want. This is opposite of the desire I want. But you know what? There's always going to be bumps in the road, even if all the lights are green. There's always going to be hurdles. There's always going to be something. And those things they're challenges. They're not even necessarily a challenge to your way of thinking or your truths. It is a way for you to take a perspective of love and recognize that whatever it is that's coming up is an opportunity for growth. And whether it's easy to navigate or a little tricky to navigate through, on the other side, it's absolutely going to be amazing. And you'll look back and you'll see the growth you've had and how you navigated that and done it like, a pro, basically. So let's see. I had my other device over here just kind of... All right, it's back up so I can see comments. Okay, so and each of these opportunities that come up will help create faith and certainty in you, in yourself. Because what's going to happen is as you navigate and you come out on the other end, you're going to see that you did it. You did it. You have the truths and the skills and the know-how to bring yourself back into alignment on your own. You've noticed, you've allowed, you've recognized all the things, all the steps, and done it. And now you're going to grow in faith that you are able to do it again and again and again. You'll have certainty that you know exactly what to do when these things come up for you. And you will, you'll have more clarity. So every time there is something to navigate through, you'll always have more clarity the next time anything comes up. It's really exciting. So last week I shared with you letting go of what was, and goodness is actually waiting in being now and future focused. So if you are not paying attention to what was, other than obviously recognize that you've done it. Give yourself that pat on the back, that hug, whatever you need, that high five. You did it. Recognize that, but also recognize that there's so much good in focusing on now and in the future of what's to come and how amazing you're going to be. So when you shift from lamenting on the past from a perspective of less than utter love for yourself and your journey, and shift to expectantly living, knowing who you are, where you're going, and what you're doing, and feeling especially divinely good about it in every moment, is truly, truly amazing. And as I mentioned last week, then one day you'll notice that all of it just kind of sticks. It clicks. You cannot be swayed from living your truths in alignment with you, with God. And yes, you're still having that physical human experience, but you cannot be swayed. So let that sink in just for a minute. And then you'll notice you are on the precipice of your own utter greatness. Okay, so this is all part of step 5 of the believe releasing process, but in depth. And just remember, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you have already awakened, you've created your broadest truth, or, you haven't done any of that yet, it's okay. Some of what I'm going to share next is just a quick, things that happen during the process. And they may or may not happen depending on where you are in your own process. So, it's important though, if you are listening and in the process of creating truths but have not yet created your broadest truth, this stuff coming up is actually pretty important. So listen up. Okay. So what can occur during the time that you are practicing living your truths is that what may come up for you is that you're being habitual. You have a habitual way of being heavily influenced by your subconscious mind. Now, this is all our programming. This is if you aren't tackling those things with love and ease for yourself, it's that's what's our operating system in our mind, and everything else is kind of based off of that. That affects our perspective, how we feel about ourselves. It eventually affects our vibrational storage and can lead to different physical health problems, not just anything that's emotional. And you may find yourself in the resistant mind state. Now, you can recognize this by feeling like you're in fear most of the day. So remember, all of our emotions can have a common denominator, and they either end up falling under fear or falling under love. And if you are recognizing that you are feeling more of the fearful emotions throughout the day, that's another key to finding yourself or recognizing that you're in a resistant mind state. Now, you may be reacting to things in a big way that doesn't really seem warranted by the situation. That's another marker that you may be in the resistant mind state, and you'll probably likely have that dripping tap of emotions that was discussed in Believe, the book, that will be running. That's just drip, drip, dripping, fear, 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 fear in the background. Now, we want to get that tap turned off and turn the other way and just drip love, love, love in the background. So the way to freedom is getting into the expectant mind state. This is where you are acting as the new changed you always. So, who is this truth-based you? What does she feel like? How does she treat herself? How does she interact with other people? And this generates high vibration. And then you ask your higher self to add all these great feelings into your truth buckets that you created back during the Believe releasing process. And you're going to be managing your transitional vibration in the moment. That's how you feel in any given moment. It adds up kind of to be how you feel overall about the day. And even sometimes people will say, I had a bad morning, but the afternoon turned out okay. So you're managing your transitional vibration. When all of a sudden your afternoon turns out okay, well then you've got a perspective change somewhere where you're taking hold. You're allowing and noticing and changing how you feel and how you perceive things that you're experiencing throughout the day. And when you're managing transitional vibration, this is the part where it may be helpful to have that standard truth template. It's a simple truth that supports all these other truths that fall under it. And living your truths will fully clear down your archive memory markers. So the more you're living your truths, the longer you're living the truths, the more those memory markers get cleared down, and eventually you'll reach your broadest truth. So if you're already there, if you're already at your broadest truth, great. So this next little bit, listen, you're going to be choosing in the moment. Every moment you're going to choose to allow, to notice, act, recognize, reflect, and then keep living and practicing. So what's going to happen? What are you going to allow? You're going to allow yourself to feel whatever it is you are feeling. And you're going to notice, what is that? Why am I feeling tired? Oh, well, this experience is making me remember this feeling, and now it's coming up in my body somewhere, and I can feel that, and it feels like it's draining me, and I'm not really tired. I'm just remembering something and having a habitual reaction to it. Okay, so then you act. What are you going to do? You have choices. You can ignore it. You can, try and feel more into it and learn more about it and understand it, why this feeling is coming up for you. You can change your perspective and do something. There's a plethora of things you can choose when you act. And then you're going to recognize that you did it. You did it. You made it through. You made it through that experience in that moment. And you can reflect on that and gain that clarity, gain that confidence and that faith that you can do this. And you're just going to keep living and keep practicing. So what will happen is there'll be the shifts in the habitual vibration and your emotions. And this is all that what was stuff. And what's going to happen is that it's not forgiveness, but it's understanding and love of your experiences, your relationships. And this is going to build trust in you and trust in God and trust in all things good. And trust that you can feel better, that you can feel good, and that you can hold that feeling longer and longer and longer and longer until it becomes that new way of life for you. So be easy on yourself, but hold yourself to your new standard of your truths. And it's never about perfection. It's never about being done. You just become the embodiment of all that you are as you were created with God and your higher self. All right, I'm going to check and see if there's any cuestiones over here. Look at me. I don't speak Spanish. My kids do. I speak some French. I used to be really good. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments right now or questions, so I'll just continue on. So, a little bit about the Living Your Truths program that I have. It includes incredible support from me, your Believe accredited practitioner, and a loving community. There'll be live or recorded weekly session explainers released about once a week. Well, definitely once per week. The energy is like crazy. It's a crazy Friday afternoon here, isn't it? And there'll be live and recorded weekly Q&As once a week. Access to personal support between sessions through Voxer or Messenger. And if this is something that you would like to know more about, please do drop a note in the comments below. You can say truth below or send me a DM and I will help get you all set up. Okay, so something else that is special this month that is ending shortly. What is today? The 29th. It's going to end on the 31st. I have a limited time special price on my soul contract sessions. So you're going to say, what's a soul contract? Well, you may not remember, but everything that is in that soul contract was agreed upon by you, as in your soul, God, and your higher self. And this was all done in non-physical before you transformed and incarnated here on earth, which means you were born as a human baby. So while you're living here on earth as a physical human, you may have found at times that your journey was difficult, was challenging, or it may have been completely wondrous and magnificent. And either way, or neither way, what's in your soul contract is exactly what you asked for and was agreed upon by you and by God. And with my expanded soul, evolving and soul knowing and my soul contract capability, I flow with God and have a soul to soul connection with you, and I will flow to you the contents of your soul contract and highlight key milestones within your soul contract. So what does this mean? Well, when you become aware of the contents, especially your key milestones within your soul contract and the process of how aligned soul contracts are created, because of course there's other souls involved due to cross alignment of soul contracts, you will gain clarity and connect to your journey and the understanding of it in a way that is truly divinely awesome. Also, during your soul contract reading, I'll be enabling you to feel God's love flow through me to you, and I'll help you feel really, really good within yourself, within this process, and help you to awaken inspiration and continue to energetically expand and further get ready for whatever the next step is in your journey. So you will also have the opportunity to ask for additional guidance and actions around anything that comes up during the session. Okay, so what else is coming up? I can't even tell you everything that's coming up. There's going to be a new program I'm really excited about, and some other things. But just watch this space. You'll see some things. You may catch some things that are already starting to evolve and change, and you will definitely see it in the future if you stick around. Next month, we will be talking about evolved living and beyond in a video series. Now, in all honesty, that is a huge, huge, huge subject. So we'll see how that all breaks down. I will try to keep it as simple as possible with all the complexity encapsulated into simplicity. And I will also bring back 1 or 2 free live guidance sessions as well. Just keep your eyes on the events and for those to show up so you can mark your calendar. Okay, as I mentioned, all the booking links are above, or you can comment or DM me if you can't find what you're looking for. If you see something that you're not sure about the date or whatever, please just ask, okay? Also, you could work with me one-to-one if you prefer. And if you're not sure what the right next step is for you right now, well, book in a free discovery call with me and we can discover that together. All right, I want to thank you all for being here. And remember, it is time. It's your time to transform the next segment on your journey and create your own fountain of youth in this life. It's time to be the greatest you can be right now. I'll see you next month for Evolved Living and Beyond series and for live higher self guidance. Ask me anything. Sending you so much love. Have a great weekend. Bye.